Okay, good morning, everybody. Have a very exciting deck for today. This is a mono green Storm Devotion deck featuring Aeve, Progenitor, Ooze. A little bit of history to give with this deck. I gotta scroll down a little bit. So, very early into Modern Horizons 2, I started brewing this deck, thinking that Time of Need was this awesome enabler for the deck. I was thinking that Time of Need could find both Nykthos and Karn the Great Creator, or Aeve, Progenitor, Ooze, or Throsta. I was thinking that Time of Need could find any of these cards. I thought it could find a legendary permanent. I'm like, this can do everything. And I even fired up a league with the deck before realizing I was very wrong. I was very wrong indeed. Time of Need does not search for any legendary card. You can't get your Planeswalkers. You can't get your Nykthos. You can only get your Aves. So a bit dejected. I did leave it in my decks list for a while, and it sat there for a long time. But as mono green Devotion has evolved in Pioneer, I think that the deck has got a lot of potential in Modern as well, or specifically that was something that I felt a month ago before Brothers War came out, maybe a little bit more than that. We played a league on stream. We went 3-2. Someone else recently 5-0'd a league or two with Mono Green Devotion in the Pioneer deck, basically in Modern. And it is definitely a deck that I have very much on my radar. I feel like there is very potentially a build of this archetype that is good, and I'm interested in working on it. That being said, I'm also still very interested in Aeve, Progenitor, Ooze. I think this card has a lot of potential in the archetype, where with Utopia Sprawl, Overgrowth, Nykthos, and you have a lot of ways to ritual with Kiora and Garruk Wildspeaker. You Kiora, you untap either Nykthos or your Overgrowth land into Garruk, into Aeve, and you get to make a bunch of oozes. Additionally, Aeve, Progenitor, Ooze, the tokens give you devotion. So if you Aeve for 3 or 4, all of a sudden you have 9 or 12 devotion to let you go absolutely crazy on the following turn. And so I was trying a few different builds of the deck last night, and I did really feel like something was missing, but I feel like that missing something was Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact, I think, ties the room together in a really, really big way, where this just lets you get it both lets you get Aeve, and it lets you get your storm count really high. So where you can either go Summoner's Pact for Aeve, obviously at the end of your Kiora, Garruk, Karn, turn, whatever. Or you can go Summoner's Pact for Burning-Tree Emissary if you need more devotion. Or if you just need more storm, you can go Summoner's Pact for Witness, and then Witness Summoner's Pact, then Summoner's Pact for Aeve. Or you can go Summoner's Pact, or you can do it. I have 2 witnesses to be able to do that again. So theoretically, 1 Summoner's Pact can be a storm count 6. If you just top deck it, you can go Pact for Witness, Pact for Witness, Pact for Aeve, storm count 6. And you may be worried about paying for all those Summoner's Pacts, but again, if you have Nykthos and Aeve, you just have infinite devotion. You'll be able to pay for as many Summoner's Pacts as you cast on the following turn. Is kind of the idea. I'm not sure exactly how competitive this strategy is. I did I think a fair mix of winning and losing, although this version felt by far more competitive, and I'm pretty excited for it. But I spent basically all evening last night working on it. I'm not playing a Beseiju. Last night I had a hand that was Beseiju, Utopia Sprawl, Nykthos, and I was just off of it. I was just off of it. T-Bane, 28 months, thank you. J-Mac, the 16th, thank you as well. Spike really wanted deck immune to Bloodmoon Explosives. Well, I don't know, I'd say we're immune to those cards. Oh, you also have Yavimaya, Nykthos, Arbor Elf, which is kind of cool. Dr. Blonduth, the 19. To untap, I got to untap Nykthos with Arbor Elf yesterday, it was awesome. Yeah, so I had Metamorphose in kind of my earlier drafts, and that card is bad, I think. Okay, kind of a mediocre hand. I'm going to go to 6 to try to get something a bit more powerful. This hand is awesome. This hand is really sweet. Overgrowth has also just been an absolute all-star. This card makes Kiora and Garruk so much more powerful, and it gives you, in a lot of ways, redundancy to your Nykthos, where you can just untap these instead of needing to untap your needing to untap your Nykthos. I'm either putting back Cavalier of Thorns or Summoner's Pact, and I guess it should probably be the Cavalier, since if I feel like I want a Cavalier for Aeve, or I could Cavalier for Aeve or Pact for Cavalier or Aeve, sorry. Did I see the finale of JoJo's Part 6? I'm still stuck in JoJo's Part 3. There's a lot of filler there, and it's very slow running. Morning, Destructotron. Chris Ring, 16 months, do you think? Do you think you'll ever do more Stoneblade content? Of course, of course. Stoneblade is not going anywhere. It's still one of my favorite decks to play. Oh no, both Yavimayas. No. Obviously, there's a downside. Could still Lotus Petal them. So this forest currently taps for 4. There's so much filler in this part of JoJo's, unfortunately. Alright, let's just cast a Karn. Can pay for Spell Pierce here. Obviously, if they have Counterspell, they have Counterspell. I kind of want to get Walking Ballista. Childhood 1 doesn't seem too bad, although it does affect a decent number of cards in my deck, too. Rystocks, 21 months, thank you. Ordinary Hands of the 10, thank you as well. Okay, well. Find that to be a bit odd. Not too upset with it, I guess, if they want to use 2 things to kill this card instead of 1. Definitely need to top deck some gas. That makes sense. Explain Pestilent Cauldron. Yeah, it's the Pioneer combo. Okay, so it's pretty convoluted, but the long and short of it that it lets you win the game with enough mana and 2 cards, 2 Kioras. I like Cityscape Leveler a lot. Yeah, I find it to be like one of your better top end cards. I'm playing it over like Mindslaver today. Okay, so they have Delirium on their Dragon Regis Channeler. We have a very big top deck this turn. If I brick, okay, we did not brick. Although, okay, hold on. I don't have a Nykthos, so if I'm gonna go for Aeve this turn, me not having a Nykthos is a big problem. I have 4, 5. Okay, so if I Summoner's Pact for Cavalier and find Nykthos, then I can Pact for Aeve pretty easily. So I think I'm gonna try to high roll and do that. Summoner's Pact for Cavalier of Thorns. Try to find a Nykthos, because I can use the Yavimaya to get my second mana to activate Nykthos. Just a forest, unfortunately. And so we'll pass back. The Cavalier is very good here also on this board, I should note. Being able to block the Channeler. Maybe they have an Unholy Heat, but what we're gonna do. Mim, 12 months, thank you. Are there combos in MTG that win you game? Yes, there are plenty of infinite combos. There's one in this deck. It's very, very convoluted. Most of them are not nearly as convoluted as the one in this deck. Explaining the whole combo even just takes takes a lot of time. Okay, there's a Kiora in the yard. Kind of want to draw the Kiora, so I can go Kiora into Summoner's Pact Aeve, probably in 2 turns. Well, I had a Titan, so I had a Titan yesterday. I come for the second Eternal Witness. The thing about Titan is when you have 6 mana, you like very likely already have a Nykthos, and like, if you don't, Nykthos can be okay to get, but I wasn't very happy with Titan, so I decided not to play it. I guess I could go... Oh, whoops, I tapped 1 too many mana. Okay, then I guess I'm not doing anything this turn, but I could have gone Kiora, untap, Summoner's Pact, Aeve. I think if I played the Yavimaya, and I could have had 3 Storm Count Aeve, but I probably want to get up to at least 4. Oh, also, I failed to mention this in the deck tech, but this is a big part of it. Aeve, when you have a lot of Storm with Kiora, you just get to draw a ton of cards, too, which is nice. So 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a good chance they just let this resolve, yeah. Naturals, thank you for the 9 months, appreciate you. I also think it's very likely they let this resolve unless they somehow know it's up. Alright, Stormcap 4. Or, yeah, Stormcap 4. So, assuming they don't do anything, we get to draw 2 cards off this Kiora too as well. Why no Dino? I thought the Dino was an option. I decided that it was probably like... Aeve is like usually going to be enough better that you don't want to play it. No Expedition Map in the sideboard to find Nykthos. I would play Golos instead. But, you could. You could play that over like Sky Sovereign maybe. Okay, so they really don't let me draw a card with the Kiora. Ultimately, not that bad of a turn for me. Worst neighbor, 9 months, thank you. No, any interest in Genesis Wave for value, or is it 2 win more? You can't, like, you can play Genesis Wave in this archetype. It's not very good with this card, though. Do you mind explaining the reason for Sky Sovereign? In addition to, like, generally wanting a 5-mana card, you know, to, you know, not only have either, like, small things or big things, something in the middle, Sky Sovereign can kill opposing Karn the Great Creators, which can be relevant. Speaking of Karn the Great Creator, I feel like we're going to have to draw one here. I have to pay for my Summoner's Pact, but I also have tons and tons of mana with my Arbor Elf Kiora. These are both +4 mana right now. With Yavimaya and Arbor Elf, can it fit Saga? Saga sucks in this kind of archetype. People always want to put Saga in like the worst places possible, but Urza Saga would be like a genuinely really bad card to play in this deck. Okay, big top deck. Alright, to game 2 we go. I don't know that I want to bring in Endurance. It's probably good enough to bring in. Yeah, I think it's good enough to play, despite me probably not going to be Summoner's Pacting for it very often. I don't hate having the second Eternal Witness in the deck, though. I wonder if there's something I should do, like maybe cut the 3rd Burning-Tree, 4th Emissary. Let's try that. Could kind of use Endurance as an Emissary. But I guess not quite. I think Leveler is really good. I like Leveler a lot. Cauldron there's an infinite combo. Okay, so I'll explain the infinite combo. So if you have 2 Karns, 2 Kioras, which is, you know, sounds like a lot, but is easier to get going once you're drawing your whole deck with like Kiora, Ooze, and stuff. And you have a Nykthos in play. What you do is, I can't remember the exact numbers, and it's also the numbers are a little bit weird because you need the Chain Veil is involved when you don't play a black land. But the general idea is you go Kiora, untap your Nykthos, make tons of mana, Karn for Pestilent Cauldron, and then Pestilent Cauldron returns a Karn and Kiora from the graveyard to let you basically Karn and continue to grab you play the back side of the card. You play the back side of the card, not the front side. You get to loop those cards over and over and over again, basically netting infinite mana, and each player gains infinite life. And then when each player has infinite life, or sorry, at some point in the loop, you're gonna get the Chain Veil, and then Chain Veil activate Karn twice a turn, and then Kiora twice a turn also. And when you're doing that, your second Karn activation can get the Stone Brain, and you'll just like grab every single card out of your opponent's deck. It'll take forever. It'll take absolutely forever, but that's kind of the fun of it. Alright, Mold of 5 is okay to do in some matchups. Against Murktide, it's very bad to do. We do have Yavimaya Nykthos, which is kind of cool, but very likely to just get picked apart here, unfortunately. You don't need Chain Veil, you can do a Pestilent Cauldron. Well, the problem is I don't have any black mana in the deck to do it with Pestilent Cauldron. Okay, that is a sick draw. So I think I'm supposed to enchant the Nykthos, right? I guess I want to be able to Legend Rule Nykthoses at some point. One thing cool about Karn too is a lot of times you'll go like Karn +1 into Aeve, and then when you do that, you're just like threatening an Aeve. Oh no, they can Utopia Sprawl because I have Yavimaya. Not a big deal, but they may even miss it. But you could just ultimate the Garruk the next turn for lethal a lot of the time. they see the line. They see the line. Damn it. It's funny. Very, very unfortunately, we're 1 mana short of Summoner's Pact for Stormcount 5 Ooze. And my opponent kept a 1-lander. We are, if we're just like not on a mull to 5 here, we're pretty likely to have the ability to do this. And they draw their land. Could have made that Sprawl make black. What do you mean? I didn't choose this, they chose it, right? Yours. Could have made mine make black? What would that have done? Ruby Tuesday, think with 3 months, appreciate you. Oh, for the combo. Yeah, but you have to like have a Utopia Sprawl. But yeah, sure, I guess. You still can. But my main point is when you have the Brainstone, you don't need the Cauldron half. Ooh. So this steps for 4, 5. So if I draw Garruk or Kiora, ooh, second Nykthos does not do that much for me. I guess it lets me Stormcount 3 Aeve if I want. I feel like that's just not gonna win the game here. Yeah, you mostly packed for Aeve in this deck. I guess I could have packed for Cavalier. I think for the most part in this point, I'm hoping to, like draw another Aeve or Burning-Tree Emissary or Summoner's Pact and be able to do like a little bit of a loop. So like there's some common loops in this deck that are like Pact for Witness, Witness back Pact, Pact for Witness again, then Pact for Aeve to get like a Storm Count 6, and then we also draw Burning-Tree Emissary or another Pact to go like Pact for Emissary, Pact for Witness, and you know with the Nykthoses here. Obviously, on the mull to 5 against Murktide, you're pretty likely to get picked apart by the 1-for-1s, but don't have too many options either. Decks out another Nykthos from the top of my library. Really, if we were just able to pack, if we had 1 more mana on that turn, or if they didn't have the counter spell on turn 2, we had a bit of a chance this game. So that Witness? No, I didn't. I set it at the 4th Emissary. So yeah, I don't know if an Emissary or a Summoner's Pact gets the job done here, but that's basically all that we could draw. Maybe there's maybe Garruk. Definitely not basic Forest. Okay, let's go to game, or match 2. So close this game. Also, it's so weird and funny that they kept the 1-lander, but they were able to Utopia Sprawl their Steaments because we had our Yavimaya. It's such a weird situation. Am I worried about the new Brothers War and board wipe against this deck with it being low toughness, artifact centric? This deck is not artifact centric really. You have Karn targets. Brotherhood is not a scary card there. I don't know. Not particularly worried. as far as decks that are weak to Brotherhood end, this is that is not the card I'm most scared of. Hand is so close. I'm pretty tempted to just YOLO this hand and just rip a Forest off the top and have a pretty perfect one. This hand is so good if we draw a Forest. I'm gonna mulligan. Yeah, this hand's pretty solid. I do like that we can Summoner's Pact for Burning-Tree Emissary with this hand. Probably just gonna put back a Forest. Yeah, Brothers in is a very good card, but you know that card's way better against decks like Food and Affinity and Hammer than it is against our deck, I think. Oh wow, we have Yavimaya plus Nykthos again. So I guess that's not. It's only really relevant if you have Arbor Elf, but it is nice if you have Arbor Elf. Castle Lock Twingo. TK, 2 months, thank you. So, best case scenario here is my opponent takes Garruk and I draw either Summoner's Pact or Burning-Tree Emissary. And I could just Aeve. Okay, I hope that I get to at least have one card in my hand at when all is said and done here. Scam, am I right? Always feels so bad when you mulligan against this too. Makes me really, really feel like I wanted that 6-card hand. Although they only have 1 card in their hands, and we top deck pretty well. You know, the Grief is going to be able to kill the Karn. Game 1, though, Ensnaring Bridge is kind of tough for them to beat. A lot of lists are cutting the Kolaghan's command. Obviously, they could have another discard effect. Could maybe get Sky Sovereign instead, but I think that just game 1 Bridge is hard enough for them to beat. I'm going to grab this. So what is this supposed to be good against? It's very good against big mana combo. I mean, for the most... listen, I didn't break it here today, but I think we've got an interesting deck to play that has some potential. But a lot of big mana decks, you know, are not that good into Murktide and Scam, especially when you're doing some mulliganing. Also, being a Karn deck makes you pretty good against some of the strategies like Breach and Food and, you know, the general artifact decks. Would Golos over Karn be a consideration? No, I don't think so. It's kind of interesting. I don't think so, though. It'd be, at the very least, it'd be a pretty hard sell. Especially in a deck that could play Primeval Titan instead, you know? A Garruk's pretty nice, but I feel like a Karn is just actually something that advances the board state here. Especially if they're not conceding to the Ensnaring Bridge being in my hand. They could have a Kolaghan's command or something. But they need to draw land plus Kolaghan's command, so we won't see that until 2 turns from now at the soonest. Okay, Voidwalker is a card that could potentially get them out from this, so I guess I'm probably supposed to Karn Needle for Voidwalker so they can't cast a Karn of mine. Probably just get Liquimetal Coating and cut them out of lands for a while. Alternatively, I now have... So this will be 2, 3 mana neutral, so 5, 6, 7. I have 7 mana total for this turn. I guess we'll just do this. Cauldron for Karn. I don't think I don't have enough devotion. I don't have nearly enough devotion. What will they do with Karn? They could have engineered explosives for the Voidwalker, although I guess the 3rd color would be kind of tough. It also turns off, you know, my Karn targets, but they just go ahead and pack it in. Feels very good to win that game after mulling to 6 and being scammed. IDK, how that works. You're the pioneer guy, dude. You don't know how the card combo works. I've written it down a few times. I think the numbers are you need 14 Devotion, 2 Kiora, 2 Karn without Chain Veil, 10 with Chain Veil. Those I could be wrong about the numbers, but it's usually like just something you can do when you have all your resources going, and the idea is when you Aeve plus Kiora, you draw a ton of cards, and then that's when you're gonna have the Devotion, and that's when you're gonna be able to get that going. 1409, yeah, I'm pretty confident that the without Chain Veil is 14. Although the thing about this deck is you basically always get the Chain Veil if you can't Utopia Sprawl on black, since instead of winning the game with Pestle and Cauldron, you have to win the game with Stone Braining every single card in their library. All right, another awkward mulligan. Let's keep this hand though. I'll put back a land. Octopus, 7 months, thank you. Alright, pretty good draw. Not super likely to live. Can you wish for a card that's been exiled, Dothy? You should be able to, yeah. Should be able to. Okay, guess we got a bit easy second Kiora discard. Would love to be able to keep a 7 against the Ragavan decks. Maybe we'll get to do that in game 3. Best case scenario is they Blood Moon me, I think. Okay, not quite best case. So Karn turns off the treasure tokens, which is something. They have 3 cards in their hand. This thing is pretty cool, but maybe a little lost in the sauce. I'd say that's a fine evaluation of it. I'm still trying to evaluate. Oh, they discard no cards here. I'm still trying to evaluate it myself. I will say, though, that, you know, when you're evaluating decks and you're playing a big mana strategy and you mulligan a bunch against Ragavan decks, it's basically always looks kind of dopey. It's kind of like literally the worst place you could be with an archetype like this is mulliganing against Ragavan decks. But playtesting it last night, I think I've got a pretty good version of it, and I think it's got a decent amount of potential as well. Yeah, but also, you know, maybe you let me have fun once in my life. May have to hide behind an Ensnaring Bridge again. Say Nick again, think with 8 months. Bridge, much much harder card to just steal a game with post board. The old no attack with Turok. The old I'm good. I don't need to just kill your Kiora for free. Do you feel like Prowess deck was really good enough to bring treasure? Yeah, I think that deck's great. I think a version of Prowess top 8'd a challenge this weekend, although it's like I believe ooh. So this means that their 2/2s can get through if I just play the bridge. Let me do that for sure. I can't Summoner's Pact for Burning-Tree Emissary either, since the Nykthos is now turned off by Blood Moon. I could have done that before. I don't think there's really... I could maybe go Garruk minus. I think I'll just get the... let's cast the bridge and then lose one of my Planeswalkers. Get back from an Elf Loose removal. I mean, even if I do that, though, I'm not able to, like, cast the bridge. That's true. I do have Haywire Mite. Yeah, I'm not too scared of Blood Moon overall. We have, you know, we're mostly forests. We have Haywire Mite. Why not Arbor Elf? If I pack for Arbor Elf here, I'm not able to cast the bridge, and I die to any removal spell. I don't know why you would want to pack for Arbor Elf here. A pretty unsurprising Kolaghan's Command. I'm going to go to game 3. Gets you on the play. I just want to keep a 7. Keeping a 7 is so important in this matchup, and I haven't been able to do. I guess I could. No. I think I've mulliganed all 4 games I played against Ragavan decks so far. Maybe I kept my very first 7. Okay, deck tech for Chris Ring. If you post a link in the chat, I could take a look. This is extremely similar to your list when I put on sort of Light and Shadow. If this is a prowess deck and it's sort of, or a white red, I think I'm very unlikely to tell you that I'm gonna like sort of Light and Shadow. I think the card is the kind of card that looks, you know, solid when it's good, but has like the very, very low floor of equipping to your Fervent Champion on turn 3 and just doing nothing, and then doing nothing the next turn 2. Yeah, I really dislike sort of Light and Shadow. I would play Feast and Famine over it. I also generally do like the Batter Skull. I think the Batter Skull is important to winning some races. I do agree it's not mandatory, but for the most part, like this card, when you put it on your Fervent Champion on turn 3, it does almost nothing, and then it does almost nothing again the next turn. And I genuinely prefer my cards to do a bit more. We're gonna keep this hand. I think I may want to Utopia Sprawl on turn 1, and then I could go like Emissary Arbor Elf on turn 2 potentially. I guess Elf is better against a Ragavan. It's maybe a bit worse against being scammed and them taking my Sprawl. Let's cast the Elf. Let's cast the Elf. If I draw, you know, a green source and they don't kill the Elf, I guess I get to turn 2 Karn, which is really nice. Yeah, so I would never recommend playing this. It's a card I think you could really trick yourself into playing. Because like sometimes you get to loop the Incarnations and the Ranger Captains and you feel like a genius, but the floor is just way too low. So, unsurprisingly, really they take the Sprawl. I would love to draw a land and just witness back the Sprawl, I guess, at this point. Another Summoner's Pact is not very good here, of course. However, if I do draw a Nykthos, I can go absolutely crazy here with 2 Burning-Tree Emissaries and then a Pact for Aeve. Yeah, now obviously very much wishing I had played the Sprawl on turn 1. It's kind of worst case scenario for the Sprawl is like turn 1 discard spell into removal spell. Obviously rough start today, huh? How do you pay for packs? With Nykthos. Nykthos plus Aeve is a ton of devotion. Okay. I'll concede if I don't draw a land this turn. Alright. Rough stuff. How about Moonlights to the side? Over. I think that's correct. That's what I was doing too. Yes, quite oof games indeed, huh? Elvish Reclaimer no good. I considered it. I think it's very slow. It is obviously nice to define your Nykthos. It's not something you can really Summoner's Pact for ever, though. Okay, we lost the die roll. No, I don't think you can play Sylvan Scrying either. It just feels a little lost in the sauce. This hand's pretty good. Is there a backup deck today? Dude, this always gives me so much anxiety. Lose the first 2 matches immediately. Is there a backup deck, Spike? Is there a backup deck? I know you spent all evening working on this. Is there a backup deck? Please, chat, please. You never mulligan to get scam and Murktide. There is a backup deck though. There is a backup deck. Of course there is. Territorial Kavu, okay. Arbor Elf is a really nice pickup here. Could potentially go kind of crazy next turn if our Arbor Elf lives. Kind of the catchphrase of this deck. Ito, 19 months, thank you. Alright, so if we draw a Burning-Tree Emissary or a Summoner's Pact, I think we get to go kind of nuts. So we know. I got remanded really hard by Domain Zoo yesterday, actually, which felt so bad. Okay, Aeve. So I can go Summoner's Pact for Burning-Tree Emissary. Burning-Tree Emissary, Nykthos, 4 mana. With a land drop. Into Karn. Or into Garruk, untap, activate Nykthos, play Nykthos. Yeah, okay, let's just start casting. This is definitely going to be the play. Okay, so I have a few different options from this point. Second Nykthos, Legend Roll, I have 6 Devotion, so I have a total of 10 mana. So I can go Karn for... Woodcaller Automaton for 2 more Storm counts. Let's go ahead and do that. Finally getting the Storm off. Spike, cancel the backup deck, actually. Oh, we're dead to a removal spell if I get Woodwire Automaton, actually. Because I have to untap the Nykthos. So I could just, like, Haywire Mite or Needle. Probably Haywire Mite against, like, a Leyline Binding deck. Turn 3. Pretty good. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. I would play Batterskull over Feast and Famine, but I do think that's like a real conversation. You know what I mean? But I would play the Batterskull because I think like Batterskull on Cauldron against Hammer Time is a good way to like actually finish off the game. Are they gonna Leyline Binding? Okay. I can't believe their turn sort of Tribal Flames Haywire Mite. Leyline Binding Utopia Sprawl. I think they're just conceding, but maybe they'll let me have my... No! 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 I missed this. No! Oh, wow. I totally missed this. Alright, fine. Yeah, where's that backup deck, huh? That was such a sick turn, Chad. It was such a sick turn. Miss 4 months ago, thank you. I think that this build is better than the Leyline of Abundance version, where for Aeve to be a card you want to be able to play cards like being able to go Kiora, untap, Wildspeaker, untap your Overgrowths and Sprawls. As like rituals is like, you know, it's a big part of why Aeve is playable here. It's a close hand. I think we're probably supposed to keep. Kind of need a little bit of help from the top of the library. Obviously, we have the Oath. Ragavan? Awesome. We'd love to see a little Ragavan. No! Damn it! Can I catch a break, please? Damn it. This has been a super rough start, obviously. I get some Nykthos in the top of the library. Yeah, welcome to Green Devotion, huh? Ugh, so much pain, so much pain. Very little gain. Yeah, you can maybe play one more land. I was playing Abundant Harvest in an earlier version of the deck, and that was like a way to like keep the land count low, storm count high. Why no fetch lands for Witness? You could play fetch lands, yeah, for Witness. It's probably fine. We didn't drop this league. Oh. Chat, chill. Yeah, I sent you an email this morning, Sanchez, that I haven't looked at your email yet, but I will. Okay, we're up against a food variant, which has got to be a good matchup, finally. Copium, but... I know, it's always just the worst when you play a new brew on stream and you lose the first 2 matches. Things just... Chat just gets, you know, some kind of way. What can I say? Okay, no Asmo is really nice. I'm definitely going to Karn this turn. Karn's passive is pretty stinking good here. Haywire Mite seems like a fine option. Coating seems fine. I'm pretty likely... Well, I guess I don't have a Nykthos. Huh. Overgrowth is nuts in this deck. Overgrowth is really, really strong. Yeah, Bridge would be fine, too. I think I actually like the Coating. If we draw a Nykthos next turn, we get to go so crazy. Why are they playing black over red? Also, second Yavimaya is not ideal. You're gonna make a Saga token. Token will only be, I guess it'll be a 5/5 if they 5/5 if they activate their Steel Seeker. There's this the Control Kings for Cauldrons. Well, you also have to play Oven. Like, what did you cut for the Ovens if you do that, right? Wait, Cauldron Familiar, no Ovens? So dumb. People literally just want to, they literally just want to change every single list you ever make. Just so, like, they can, like, you know, have worked on it. You can storm here? I can, but I can't prepare for the Pact because I don't have Nykthos. Do I want to play a 1/1 that comes back from the yard and drains for 1, or do I want to play a 7/6 Vigilance Reach? Obviously, only you sack, you know, 1 food instead of 3, but like, I don't know. It's okay. I understand. I'm honestly in a lot of ways the same way, but people really do just, like, take a look at a deck list and, like, one of the first thoughts they think is, what can I change? You know what I mean? What can I change? Okay, so they play Wood of Foothills instead of Saga. You literally do that, people would send deck text. That's why they're sending the deck text, though. It's fine, I don't know. It's fine, it just... Again, I'm the same way, so I can't judge either. So I think I'm supposed to pack for... I was supposed to do this last turn, but I think I'm supposed to pack for Cavalier. Play a Steel Seeker version of this deck. That what? What does that mean? I think I'm just gonna kill a land still. No, we can pay for Pact. We have 4 mana. Yeah, we've definitely been running pretty bad today. Do we not have a map to fetch Nykthos? No, I don't have a map to fetch Nykthos. You could play one. Golos might be better. I guess Nykthos making Nykthos come to play untapped. That's probably fine to play. No, Karn can only plus on non-creature artifacts, so you can't plus on Cauldron tokens. Changing, tweaking, experiment with the deck meaningfully contributes to the game. If no one changes deck, experiment would be stuck with stolen deals much about. Yeah, I agree. Like, again, I'm saying I'm the same way. I also take a look at deck lists. I also immediately think, what can I change? But a lot of times, I feel like that leads to things like people cut Troll Kings for Cauldron Familiars. They're gonna win a lot because the deck is nuts. You can't play Cauldron Familiar in your modern deck without Witches of It. It just like stun locks me even like thinking about it. Maybe they have one as a Saga target, but you should probably have more than just one copy. But it's like what's kind of frustrating to me about the food deck is Twitter has decided that Feasting Troll King is like unplayable. I feel like in my testing, Troll King has been really, really good, and I've been like very happy with it. But people have a lot of like preconceived notions about the card because of like the way it's looked in other shells in the past. And they literally will like, you know, look to like play any card over Troll King, even if the card is like just by my mind and definition like clearly much worse. And you also lose out on Scrapwork Mutt, which is great, and that's just thinking out loud, I guess. Not really saying anything. Just unlocked from all the comments of cut Troll King for X or Y, worst card. Ooh, that's a pretty great draw. Very nice that you can't Besage your basic forest either. Any Garruk, any Kiora is going to be making tons of mana here. This currently taps for 5 mana, 5, 6. We have 6 mana for next turn. Can maybe... Oh, wow. Perfect draw. So we get to go Garruk, activate Nykthos, untap, untap. So let me just do a mana check real quick. 13. Okay, I'm gonna cancel. So I think I'm gonna go Summoner's Pact for Eternal Witness before I activate Nykthos. Summoner's Pact for Witness. 5 mana floating plus devotion for 2, 5, 7. 5 mana floating after that. Well, not floating, just if I tap this. Just tap this now. 7 devotion, so 10 total. Could let me go. I wonder if there's anything better to do than just storming for a bunch here, right? I don't think so can I go Karn? I could go Karn, Chainveil. Karn, Chainveil, activate twice. That's probably going to be a good thing to do. I think Garruk goes infinite? How does Garruk go infinite? Because I can only Chainveil one time. I don't think we don't have 40 mana to Ballista them either. Where is it? There it is. Alright, so let's just do a quick mana check. We have 9 here. Hold on. If I want to, I can still go Pact for Witness before Nykthos for a little bit more mana. Or I guess that's like +1. I guess I should have done that. I should have done that already. So let's do that now. Just up the storm count a bunch. Or hold on, is it maybe it's better to, can I Aeve right now just for devotion? So this taps for 5. This taps for 5, and so I'm 1 mana short of Aeve into tap Nykthos, which would have been awesome. Have I considered Tamiyo's safekeeping? Yeah, Tamiyo's safekeeping is good when it's just like magically in your hand and you have a green mana and your opponent's like targeting something you want to keep alive. But it's like very difficult in this like critical mass deck to just like have it when you need it, if that makes sense. They have an endurance? Literally, why did they cite an endurance against me? Damn it. I mean, I guess this is why. I just would have never, ever, ever expected them to cite an endurance against me here. Feels so random. I'm probably just gonna get Cityscape Leveler at this point. Well, 40 months, thank you. Leveler is kind of a nice combo with Karn because the things you kill, or they can't activate the Power Stone token with Karn in play. So I am subscribed to keep getting ads in the middle of games. You're not subscribed. I can see that you don't have the subscriber badge. Well, 40 months. You may be following, which is different from subscribing. But yeah, you also you know, if you subscribe, you don't get ads. I understand that ads can be kind of frustrating. It's also like, it is what it is. Like, you complaining to ads about me does not accomplish anything besides trying to make me feel bad. And we have a no complaining about the ads rule, which is new, but it is a rule. Okay, we can kill that with Leveler if we need to. Kill whatever we want with Leveler. I thought Twitch Prime does get around ads. In any subscription gets around all the ads on the channel. Not complaining this would happen after E was cast. They enduranced after I cast the Ewit. Yeah, there's never any pressure to subscribe, but if you don't want to see the ads, that's how you can get rid of them. You can also watch the ads. There's also maybe some other way to get around ads that I probably cannot talk about as a Twitch partner, but you know. There may be another free way to do so. Seeing the name of X card drawn, I can do that. Like Turbo. Well, Turbo's not free, but that is something. That's all. Yeah, there was a Sing Redemption. I did see it. Do you get any kickback if Turbo subs watch the stream? I mean, I don't think so. Just don't worry about it. Just that's not a conversation I like to have all the time. Turbo Select, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate you. How close to lethal was Storm Guy plus Garruk last turn? Super lethal. The thing is, like, my opponent had endurance, so I was trying to build up Storm by going Pact for Witness, Pact for Aeve to, like, you know, really build up the Storm. I never, ever, ever, ever thought my opponent would have an endurance against me post board. I never, ever thought that would be something that would happen, and it happened. So, Bone Shards the Leveler. This is actually amazingly good here, because now I can't get rid of the needle. I guess I can if I can get up to enough mana to unearth. I have to pay for Summoner's Pact, though. Endurance into Bone Shards is very, very good for my opponent here. I might let the Karn die. So I have to tap this for Pact next turn, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, I guess I let this die, because if it does die, I can unearth the Leveler if I draw a land, and then which unlocks my Garruk too. That is a land. Oh no, did I miscount? Fuck, I miscounted. Yeah, guess I just miscounted. So I can't, I lose 2 life to this too. Yep, Chicken Waffle tier 1, thank you. Garruk, there's a needle on Garruk. You didn't get to float the mana from the land? I did, that's the only way I was able to tap this Nykthos. I just miscounted. We didn't spew a mana. We did not. We literally died, and we had to tap this for the Pact. I wasn't counting this towards the other mana. There was no way to like get this mana that we tapped this for the Summoner's Pact for this turn. Did I sing the card name? No, I didn't. Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. Not the most enthusiastic, but you get what you get. Attacking me? Attacking me. Okay, let's just take it. Definitely on a fast clock here. Unfortunately, this is the Unearth doesn't count for the Storm count for Aeve either. We can go Unearth the Leveler. Unearth Leveler killed Needle. Plus Garruk. Activate Chain Veil minus Garruk. Have blockers, but I just died to Oven, so let's go to game 3. Which we get to be on the play for. I tried Steelseeker and Explorer Anvil Cat. Yeah, Steelseeker's a great card, Shadow, thank you 2 months, appreciate ya. We're back. So this deck loses to Endurance? I guess so. I literally can't believe they had Endurance there. I don't think I'm supposed to like cut the Witness. Although this Woodcaller Automaton is maybe calling my name. I could bring in Haywire Mite also. No, I'm fine. It's fine. They may even cut the Witnesses or Endurances, although maybe not after that game. I'll just not go for the Witness Summoner's Pact line too aggressively. Okay, awesome hand. This hand is like weirdly. I don't think. No, there's no way we can turn to Aeve here. Punished for being flashy? We were not punished for being flashy. There is no world where it's realistic to play around Endurance post board in this matchup. I think there's like just like at least that's my current opinion, is that it just did not make any kind of sense to play around it in this spot. Okay, I think I'm just going to go Utopia Sprawl into Overgrowth. I could use these as rituals. Ritual out the Aeve. Draw at least 1 card with Kiora. Hopefully, I could draw another spell and Storm count 4. Max, the 10 months. Thank you. Then we have Garruk Ultimate falling after our Aeve turn, which is nice. Okay, Asmo is very good for my opponent here. Kills the Arbor Elf before the trigger resolves. Turn 2 Asmo activation is pretty good. That being said, we're still doing alright here, I think. Oath of Nissa is actually a really, really good draw. It's gotta be Witness here, right? So I can go, I think, tap Nykthos, Garruk, untap. My devotion will be then 5. Tap Forest, so untap, no mana floating. Tap the Forest for 4. Nykthos for basically +3, so 7 mana. 7 mana into Eternal Witness, Arbor Elf. Or sorry, just Eternal Witness, get back Arbor Elf. Kiora, untap Nykthos, and the 2 floating mana to activate Nykthos into Arbor Elf Aeve. I'll double check. This seems like it'll work though. And this time, if they have endurance, it's not even that bad. Oh, I did miscount. Yeah, I can't witness and then activate Nykthos, but I can at least activate the Nykthos for 8, play witness. Return this, cast Storm Count 5. Draw a card. Draw a card. Draw a card. I'm playing Arbor Elf. That was our turn 3. Yeah, and then we have the overrun on the following turn too. This is Aeve Progenitor Ooze. Aeve Progenitor Ooze. I think we really owe most of that turn to like how crazy Overgrowth is in the stack. Overgrowth is so nuts. We could go kind of crazy with the Oath of Nissa and try to have a really big turn, but I'll just ultimate the Garruk. Postboard, 26 months, thank you. Yeah, I think this is a somewhat common line I was founding yesterday too. Like you play your Garruk and then you plus as a ritual for Aeve, and then the following turn you have the overrun. If you need it. Thank you, Simon. Would Fires of Yavimaya be modern play if it was legal? I think it is legal. But I wouldn't say that it is. I think it was in Modern Masters too. I'd say it's very unlikely to be a card you really consider for almost any deck. Maybe I'm thinking of a different card, like a kind of recent one that's very similar. Yeah, you're right. It's not legal. There's Rhythm of the Wild. I thought there was another version in MH2. Okay, so we could have kept a hand like this earlier, and I was a coward and I didn't. I did win that game though. I'm gonna keep this hand draws a forest. It just gets to do like it just gets to go so crazy. I can't really help myself. We kind of have 2 looks also. Like this like isn't consistent enough to be extremely competitive against other top decks. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I feel like, you know, to some extent every chat just wants every single day, every week there to be another red-green food deck. It's just not possible, at least not for me. But I feel like there's something here. I think it's pretty sweet, so we're playing it today. Come on, Ragavan, clear no forest away from me. No, Ragavan, please! Ragavan! Damn you. Damn it. Okay, I really don't need the Oath of Nissa too much. I think I'll put back the Karn, though. We're just definitely on the Storm plan. Why do we keep this? Why do we keep this? I mean, I said when I kept it, if you're watching back then, that this hand has... If this hand draws a forest, it gets to go crazy, and I wanted to have a little bit of fun. That is still true. If we draw a forest now, we still get to go really crazy in a couple turns. Although with the Nykthos gone, it's going to be harder. Yeah, I know the keep was definitely risky. We're on the draw. On the draw, 2 looks at a forest, because you can play Nykthos in turn 1. I feel like it was okay. The upside was just so crazy high. Yeah, Ragavan even stole the forest from his chat. Don't blame me for the keep. Blame Ragavan for stealing the forest from me. Blame Watsy for making image 2. Do I like play limited? I like limited. I play it sometimes, just not on stream. All right. Sick hand. Really, really good hand. Is there a possible deck to take advantage of Oath of Nissa, making the black mana from coffers usable for Kiora and Garruk? So that's kind of an interesting thought. I will say that when you play coffers, if you're gonna play any ramp spells, I think for the most part you want ramp spells that will put a land into play instead of untapping a land. Where you get like just every single land in you play when you have Urborg Coffers gives you 2 extra mana and helps you assemble Urborg Coffers faster. Okay, I could go Kiora into Overgrowth. I can also just go Overgrowth into Elf. I kind of like the idea of not playing the Elf this turn to like for Stormcalp. I think I just need to play it. I have an Overgrowth, you know. If they have Fury, it's obviously not ideal. Kiora, I think I'm gonna save Kiora for Stormcalp next turn. Because like an Arbor Elf is kind of like a Kiora too, but it's like a Kiora that dies to Fury this turn. But I only get 1 Kiora activation. I get a Kiora activation next turn anyways. So hopefully I can go, you know, I guess I might not be able to go for the Witness line. We'll see. Nykthos would make things kind of easy. You have a lot of good draws. They have the Fury too. Is there not enough room for Beseiju? When I was playtesting yesterday, I kept a hand that had... When I was playtesting yesterday, I kept a hand that had Beseiju and... Utopia Sprawl and Nykthos, and it was an awesome hand. I had to mulligan because I didn't have the forest. I'm 1 mana short of trying to like YOLO Cavalier for Nykthos. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna get Arbor Elf. No, we want to Aeve this turn. We get to draw 2 cards off the Kiora also. And this is going to be tough for my opponent to beat. It is very cool to be able to do this turn 3 through a Fury killing 2 Arbor Elves. Can't forget my Summoner's Pact. But you can play Beseiju. I just had a pretty bad experience with it yesterday, so I decided to be off of it for today. Wouldn't Burning-Tree just be better here? I don't think so. Like Arbor Elf taps for 4 mana, and I have a Summoner's Pact trigger going off next turn. So like Burning-Tree is a 2/2, but this is a 1 mana creature that taps for 4 mana. That's very powerful, and I think that's better. Yeah, Blood Moon does not remove Utopia Sprawl on a basic. It does remove it if you put it on like a Yavimaya or a Stomping Ground or a Temple Garden. Opponent's playing Rakdos Scam. Pretty exciting hand. Let's keep this. I could potentially go crazy on turn 3 again. I don't know what they take. Maybe the Oath of Nissa, maybe the Emissary. What would be the worst elemental right now? The worst elementals maybe like Risen Sanctuary. Well, let's play the Arbor Elf. So, the thing about Arbor Elf is we can have an awesome turn too, where we go like Pact for Emissary, Aeve. The problem is we died to a removal spell on the Elf. But we get to, you know, storm on for like 4 on turn 2. If I had a Utopia Sprawl, I'd probably do it. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Bit scared of a Blood Moon, I guess. I think Arbor Elf just be able to block. Ragavan is fine here. The next turn I can go Emissary, Pact for Emissary, Nykthos for 5, Aeve. Okay, don't mind that so much. As long as they don't have land, Blood Moon is 2 as their 3 cards. Or, you know, discard spells. It's an Arbor Elf. Be great if they just would like land Fable or Voidwalker or something. Okay, that's a Voidwalker. 1 card left in their hand. They didn't cast the Elf, which is kind of concerning. And I was thinking for a moment I was in bad shape, but honestly, like me just drawing another Burning-Tree Emissary means that I'm beating a removal spell here. In fact, if they have a removal spell, I kind of want them to cast it now. So maybe I play my Nykthos to kind of bait a removal spell in response. But maybe they just want the treasure more than the Arbor Elf. That would be kind of fair, I guess. We do actually lose to Blood Moon. But they didn't have it this turn, presumably. I will say, this is turn 3 through Ragavan, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt. I think that's something to be proud of. We lose to Moon because we can't pay for Pact. This is turn 3 through Ragavan, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, and I feel pretty good about that. I know the first few matches have been kind of sketchy. Obviously, this is good variance too, but there's something here. There's something here for sure. I have a lot of sick lines in this deck. Arbor does not add to Storm Count, no. Yeah, I have a backup deck. Yeah, I always just feel so bad. You wake up really hyped for a new brew and you mulligan against the Ragavan decks, and then chat's like, okay, backup deck. How far along am I in God of War Ragnarok? Dude, I'm in side quest hell in Ragnarok. I can't help myself, because I am having fun with the side quests, but damn, I just found a whole new side quest zone, like an entire zone just dedicated for side quests. And I'm doing them. Okay, hand needs to draw payoff, or the draw will keep. You could play a Thrasta. You could play a Thrasta. I don't think that you really want one, but there's moments where I've kind of wished I had one to Pact for. Do you think you're better than normal Storm since you're not reliant on your graveyard and not vulnerable to removal on key creatures? I know both decks are Storm decks, but it feels kind of hard to compare the two, because really this is a big mana deck with like a Storm finisher / Devotion enabler payoff in Aeve. Okay, I thought this was going to be Merfolk for a second. It's Mill. Don't know how the Mill matchup is. Thrust over 1 Cavalier. I'd like the 1 Cavalier, but you could. What is the device over the table? It works well if I would share the ref. I'm not going to dig up the IKEA reference number for you, but I don't know. I don't know what it is either. But I'm just not going to dig up the IKEA reference number. Sorry, I got a stream to do. I don't know. It came with the table. You can go to IKEA, say I would like a standing desk, and they'll hook you up. I enjoy fruit. 18 months. Oh, I forgot to mention this. We have Lucy emotes finally. We have 2 new Lucy emotes. And we have a couple more coming too, but these are done today. How to get some thoughts on Red White Stoneblade recently? I did a deck tech for it earlier. I don't think too much has really changed. It didn't get really anything from the new set. I would maybe be interested in playing a green splash, so you can like Ranger Captain for Haywire Mite. That's something. But besides that, they didn't really get anything. Spies, 8 months. How many subs do you show my microwave on stream? My microwave is built into my counter, so I guess I'd have to take a camera down there. We did during the, we could have during the cooking stream, I guess. Would Hexdrinker be awful? Yeah, Hexdrinker is like much worse in Modern than it used to be, since they printed Prismatic Ending, Teferi Time Raveler, Leyline Binding, Solitude, Fury are all cards that like just aren't instant speed removal. Opponent deep in the tank. Turn 2 with their mill deck. Examining all of the possible realities here. I think what they're actually doing is thinking with the surgical extraction. It needs your resub to use debuffs. Thank you, Spies. I could actually, maybe it's better to hold the, yeah, it's better to hold the Burning-Tree Emissary for Storm, since it's just getting blocked by the Ruin Crab anyways. And if I draw an Aeve or Summoner's Pact next turn, I can at least draw one card with Kiora. These draw payoff. Summoner's Pact, Aeve, Eternal Witness. Only have one Witness left, I guess. I guess Witness is probably back because we think that they have Surgical, though. So Karn, Aeve. It's the main ones. Oh, hopefully they Field of Ruin my Nykthos. I just have a second Nykthos here. This is definitely a matchup where Storm the Festival really shines. I guess I don't have Devotion, so they wouldn't really need to right now, huh? Yeah, I think I actually just hold that for Storm count. I don't really see a reason to do anything here. Okay, there's a card that they're probably going to Surgical if they have it. They should do it in my draw step. Mill players just like don't Surgical in the draw step anymore. I don't know what happened. I guess nobody wrote an article saying to Surgical in the draw step in like the last 10 years, but they should do it because I could draw a Karn for turn. There's really like no reason not to. Sui, 7 months, thank you. Insulted Foods board, would you place Gigantha with if I was going companionless? I don't love companions. You can figure that out. I don't know. You should play Gigantha. I don't usually like questions like this that are like, Spike, I want to cut this card because it's like clearly correct, but I don't like to play these kind of cards. So what can I play instead? It's just like, if you want to build a suboptimal version of a strategy, you know, that's up to you. But it's hard. Like my brain always gets a little stun locked when I'm asked to find an optimal card when we're, you know, it's just play. I recommend play the Gigantha. You can play whatever you want. You know, there's plenty of other options. Also, the Gigantha is like, just like the free card to discard the cookbook is so nice. All right, only have 14 cards left in our library. I may just pack it in if I don't draw a payoff this turn. Suik, thank you for the 7 months. Oh, this Kiora's not a May ability. That's actually kind of a problem. Dude, Cavalier is... Cavalier mills me for 5. Well, it does let me draw a card with Kiora at least, so we can start casting, I suppose. Just gonna deck myself. I guess. Probably better to put on the Nykthos here. Since I'm gonna want to untap the Nykthos anyways. For 9. So if I draw like an Aeve or Summoner's Pact, I get to lose the game, but I get to, you know, on turn 4 storm off a bunch. Okay. Failed to do so. I guess I'm going to cut the Cavalier for the Endurance as Cavalier makes me mill myself for a lot, and Endurance shuffles cards back in. It's kind of an easy swap, actually. Weird matchup. How is the Stormwind Con playable if it doesn't win the turn you go off? Putting like 16 to 30 power in play on turn 3 and 4 is really good in the current modern environment. I don't know if that's... Ooh, Leveler? Yeah, boarding in Leveler is actually pretty heads up. It could be 61. Yeah, it's... Yeah, it's also like you have to... Like, this is not only a Storm deck either, right? This is also a Karn the Great Creator Devotion deck. Aeve is like your kind of your main win condition, but it's not your only win condition. Is the Chain Veil sideboard for combo or just general value untapping? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Sometimes it's a ritual. It is a combo piece too. Any thoughts to Squirrel Storm? I have no thoughts on Squirrel Storm at the moment. Catch me tomorrow. Okay, so this currently taps for 4, so Kiora is +1 mana. +1 mana. Getting with the crab. They kept the 1-lander. Wow, we drew kind of the best possible. Although I think this turn, instead of going, I could go like Kiora, untap, Aeve. The problem is I don't have enough mana to Nykthos after I Aeve. It'd be awesome if I did. I could go Summer's Pact for Burning-Tree Emissary too, but I think as I have a lot of very cool lines. Just getting a freaking coating against my opponent kept to 1-lander has got to be the best line. Pact for endurance before it gets milled. At the time of making the comment, that doesn't seem like a big concern. Maybe in some situations there's times you'd want to do that. Right now that doesn't seem like the correct play, or really even that close to the correct play. Alright, let's get wild. Okay, so the Nykthos is currently +1 mana. This is clearly a lot more than that. So I think I'm probably supposed to go untap here into Karn for the ritual. And notably, the ritual, if it untaps, if you prototype it, it does count for devotion, which is very weird. I do think I need to untap the Nykthos instead of the forest, so I don't die to a removal spell. I could get Eternal Witness. I could go Pact, Eternal Witness, Pact. I think it's just way safer to get this because of Surgical, and also I guess removal spell Nykthos would kill me at that point too. Chainveil combos there. I don't have enough mana, I think. I don't have enough devotion. I don't have Kiora and extra Karn in my yard. Maybe you're right, but maybe Chainveil is better than this. Could probably buy that. Okay, so we can go Cast Forest, Overgrowth. Overgrowth is so good. It's turn 4. If only I had another Nykthos activation. You have so much devotion here. It is because your thing taps for 5 plus the corrective action is plus mana each time. Well, but hold on. You have, it's +1. It's +1 mana each time, right? But we don't have the extra Kiora. Don't you need the extra Kiora? I'm really confused, I guess. Yeah, if they have 4 archive traps, we lose. Your thing taps for 5 plus. Kiora is plus mana each time. So you get Chainveil's 4 mana. 4 mana, activate Chainveil. Then I can activate Kiora one more time. I've already activated it once to untap my land. I untap my land, and then I can't activate Kiora again. No way. Come on, that's 2. Yeah, then you can't untap the Chainveil. Okay, I'm at 19 cards with my opponent having no mana. There's not really anything they can do, right? You didn't search, they did. I searched, I cast Summoner's Pact this turn. How do we win? I'm just gonna attack, right? I'm pretty sure I have lethal. They block here. I have 11. I have much more than 18, or a little bit more than 18. Yeah, also the leveler. I'd keep this maybe if I had a Nykthos. I'm gonna go to 6 though. This hand has a Nykthos. No green mana. This is definitely an example of a matchup though that you can actually mulligan in. Turn 2 Garruk's really nice. This would be just like such a beautiful 6-card hand. I think I have to go to 5. What's kind of nice about this spot is if they're passively milling me, I have a leveler, a Cityscape Leveler. I can like unearth. Guess it doesn't do that much, but it does something. Just kind of need, kind of like game 1. You draw a payoff at some point. Guess I could make beasts too. Mills over 3 Aves. 3 payoffs down. And the mills the endurance too. That's really bad. Oh, that's right. I need a forest to be able to turn 2 Garruk. That's right. That's true. The last one's at the bottom of the deck, so like the Summoner's Pact would be live for Aeve. Very, very good start for my opponent. They also obviously have Surgical. I guess they can Surgical the Aeve too, if they feel like I'm going to go for Pact. You might be on the old beast plan. Third crab, no land? No, Sprawl wasn't 0 mana because we don't have a forest to cast the Sprawl first. Oh my gosh. Everybody stay calm. Okay, so I can go Garruk. Morning, Atashi. Any reason? Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't have the green. We already have the green to Sprawl into Overgrowth. So I might need to use this other Garruk as a ritual. Let's just see how much mana we have. Cut the Mindslaver. I also boarded out the leveler. Feels like it's probably good to go like Karn into Stone into we just go Karn into Chain Veil, activate Garruk again, and we can activate this Garruk twice also. We might actually be able to kill a Ballista. We might be able to kill a Ballista. Sky Sovereign, you're thinking way too small. You're thinking way too small. Because this lets me activate this Garruk twice, like this turn also. This Garruk again, and then this Garruk twice for tons and tons of mana. Deck tech for Growdy. If you post a link in the chat, I'll get to it after this match. BK with Twitch Prime, thank you. How's the brew going? I'm pretty excited about it. We've had some really sick turns. We 0-2 dropped the league, now we're 2-1 in the league. You can Cauldron and put Aeve in my hand. So like, I think they have Surgical. It's kind of one thing I'm trying to play around. I can take that line, but this line is just like a lot of extra mana, so I'm gonna take this one first. So I can activate this Garruk again, which is not enough to Ballista my opponent, unfortunately. Yeah, so if I go Pestilent Cauldron, I can target Aeve. I really think they have Surgical, the way that they pause that one turn. So I feel like that's probably not something I should do. So maybe I'm just still making a giant Ballista. I feel like that line's probably pretty good. Targeting Aeve and Endurance. Isn't it creature and planeswalker? Creature and or planeswalker. Okay. Okay, so target both of those. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. How big is this ballista? Let me just check how big the ballista is. The ballista is a 8/8, which is enough to kill all crabs, but then I have nothing. So I can kill 2 crabs. I think I like that line, yeah. I thought that this had to target a planeswalker and a creature, because that's like kind of what it always does. I guess that's obviously not the case, right? Because then they would have yeah, I mean this line's also like just really, really good if they don't have the surgical. And if they have the surgical too, it's still pretty fine. Yeah, this deck is almost as hard to play as blue-white control. Indeed, indeed. Ballista would be a Tintin if Utopia Sprawl Overgrowth last turn. I'm not sure if you're memeing. I could not have done both last turn, right? Oh no, I could have. Sorry, I could have. I see what you guys are saying. Play Sprawl, untap Sprawl, then Overgrowth. Yes, I see. Now I see. I understand. Now I understand. I was really confused. I didn't see the line. Yeah, because I was thinking I needed the second green. Yeah, hopefully they don't have 2 surgicals. There's a lot going on, chat. There's a lot going on today. About 1 Genesis Hydra to possibly up the storm count. I mean, I think suggesting a spell in a deck like this and saying that it ups the storm count is not something that like really sells me on a card, because any spell ups the storm count. Genesis Hydra doesn't up the storm count by 2, and it's also usually the last spell you turn, so I think it's really bad at enabling storm count. It doesn't cast Aeve, so if it cast Aeve, it was good. But Genesis Hydra just puts the permanent into play, I believe. I could be misremembering, I suppose. Yeah, this is our turn 3. We've had some crazy turn 3s today. Did they get rid of all the Aves? They did, yeah. So I can actually activate Karn for a spell again this turn because I have the Chain Veil. But then I lose the Karn. So I think I want to play the Endurance this turn for Devotion and reducing my graveyard count for like their Ancestral Recall. Not that that's probably the most relevant. I had Metamorphose in my first draft. I ended up thinking that it made just like keeping hands too difficult, and there wasn't like a ton of room either. Get Burst back. Maybe that was better. Too late now. Okay, so we can activate Planeswalkers 2 times this turn. I might make a Beast. Probably shouldn't make a Beast. Okay, so I have, this is plus 4 mana. This is plus 4, and then plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 3. So this is plus 11. I can make a 11/11 Ballista here. That's got to be the line. Yeah, I could burst back, but I shuffled my graveyard back in. Oh, I could get the Karn back. Okay, yeah. No, that is the line. Oh, that line is really bad against another Surgical, which they probably don't have. But I feel like that's maybe what I'm most likely to lose to. Oh, it's also, I miscounted even. This is a 12/12. Yeah, I think that I'm just like, I likely have lethal next turn, and I think playing around other Surgical is correct. Starman, 10 months, thank you. Don't think there's any like counter unless you play Expel that's particularly relevant right now. They had to draw it that turn. Yeah, I guess they did, and they drew Shelldock Isle instead. So yeah, maybe playing around Surgical actually makes no sense. I could kind of believe that. Now that I'm thinking about it a bit more. This line is definitely fine. You know, this deck is, again, not nearly as hard as blue-white control to play, but has some Has some tricky lines. We very likely have lethal next turn if this Ballista lives. Can we double overrun next turn? No, it can only overrun once. Where did this blue-white gag comes from? Well, I at one point during a stream stated something I thought that I still think is just true, is that people generally rate decks like blue-white control to be the hardest decks in Modern, but I think that there are lots of very complicated combo decks, like I think 8-key combos like a good example, but there's a few different decks that are basically complicated combo decks that I generally rate to be more difficult to play. Okay, so if I get a land here, I go down to 47, and they can Shellduck Isle me if they have a land plus Archive Trap. I think I just want to keep cards in the library at this point. Scales is one of the hardest decks to play for sure. Titan is very difficult to play, but like blue-white control players love to brag. They love to talk about how difficult their deck is to play. When, in my opinion, it is, it's not easy, but it is. I just wouldn't rate it as the hardest deck to play in Modern, like a lot of people like to say. Just teasing, just goofing around. Okay, so I can overrun this turn, right? I can go activate Chain Veil, overrun. Activate Chain Veil, overrun, 2 mana floating, not super helpful, but that's 7 plus 6, 13 plus 4, 17. 17. Oh no, I'm a little short, right? Oh right, Kiora untaps again. Kiora untaps again, so I can. Yeah, I get that's lethal with the Kiora untap. Squid Squad, 25 months. Appreciate you. It's infinite. Okay, people keep saying that. Oh wait, yeah, it's not infinite. It's like it's restricted by this, but that is true. I can untap the Chain Veil, activate it again. That's right. I'm just going to not so that I can not do a million clicks, but that is right. Wait, what? No! Did I click this? I pressed this? No! Damn it! Oh! I needed to. Sorry, I thought I didn't realize I just pressed this for mana. Yeah, I needed minus the Chain Veil again. All right. Pretty embarrassing. I guess one kind of nice thing about this spot is... No, I'm 1 mana short of being able to kill with Ballista if they mill me out here, but it's pretty hard. I still have 47 cards in my library. I had Mindslaver in my sideboard earlier. I feel like I just had too many top-end cards. Like, for the most part, I feel like the Cityscape Leveler and the Ballista and the Infinite combo give you enough equity. Ganked, 2 months, thank you. All right. At one point, we were 0-1 in this league, and people were asking about the backup deck, and now we're doing a 4-1 prediction. Okay, get your points in. Yeah, lots of ways to find lethal, and none of them found. Yeah, for whatever reason, I just felt like I could still minus the Garruk again after pressing there. Probably have to keep this. Kind of dopey ham. Yeah, there's an infinite combo. It's very convoluted. It involves looping Karn and Kiora with Restorative Burst, and then brainstoning every single card, or stonebraining every single card in their library. But it's the same combo the Pioneer version uses, if you're familiar with that. Oh, sorry, I had a deck tech to do from Grouty. Growdy. Did you post in the chat? I didn't see the deck tech. If any mods have it or anything, or if Growdy's still here, let me know. I'll get to it right now. There we go. Okay, Modern Paradoxical with Steel Seeker and Riddlesmith. Cool. Another Bloodstained Mire. So you were just trying to deck yourself with Riddlesmith, Steel Seeker, Paradoxical Outcome, and then cast Thought Monitor. I will say Maria sure is one less mana than Urza. Urza seems so much more powerful in this deck because it comes with a giant construct and it comes with the ability to tap for blue instead of red or green, which is super duper relevant in your deck. 16 lands is also so few. I do know that when you play this archetype, you really don't want to play mini lands. I've played, you know, Paradoxical Outcome decks before, to my dismay. All right, binning 3 forests. But it also seems very difficult when you're like, you're really trying to hard cast this outcome. I guess you have these Pinhead Prisms that help a little bit. It also, with 60 lands, it also means that your Steel Seekers, they just like have, it's very hard to get a card off the Steel Seeker. It really is just like Surveil 1, which is okay. But I don't, but for the most part with this deck, I would be like, I'd honestly like be almost pretty interested in not playing Maria, not playing Thought Monitor, maybe not even playing Outcomes, but maybe the Outcomes are fine. But just playing like 8 more artifacts, and so your plan is to mulligan to 2 lands plus 1 of these, and then you just play your Steel Seeker or your Riddlesmith, and you draw a ton of cards, or you surveil a ton, and then you try to set up for Pinhead Prism into Outcome the following turn and win on turn 4 a lot of the time. Which is like a little slow and a little dopey, but it is at least a plan. Breadnought, thank you for the 8 months, appreciate you. So I think that's the direction I would go. Just play the 4th Tormod's Crypt and then 7 more 0 mana artifacts. Oh, you also don't play 4 Jack-o'-lanterns. You just want to play 0 mana artifacts. You can play 2 Jack-o'-lanterns for Thassa's Oracle, but I feel like just like you can also build the mana base where every land taps for blue and you don't even need to play this card. And then you can play Riddlesmith or Steel Seeker, draw most of your library into Outcome into Oracle the following turn, presumably. Corvus, Tweedle Months, thank you, and Breadnought with the 8. This deck really wants Mox Amber to be legal, of course. Sideboard seems... don't play all these Besejus, I think, with no Rin in 6. You need to play, like, Haywire Mite instead. The Aeve is also probably way too mana-intensive. Probably not something you can afford to play. Okay, very likely to lose to a turn 4 Archon on the play here. Don't have too many outs. We can Aeve for 3. Let's go to game 2, though. Mox Amber's legal. Amber doesn't do anything in the deck, though. If with Urza or Maria in play, it taps for mana, which any 0 mana artifact does, too. But there's plenty of 0 mana artifacts. Not many of them do anything, but you don't really need them to do anything besides be a 0 mana artifact. Alright, be on the play for game 2. Scal, 5 months, thank you. Going to try to Stone Brain them pretty aggressively. What did I think of the Pox Brew with Nether Spirit and Hearse? I liked it. I liked the engine of Nether Spirit and Hearse as well. I don't know if there's another package for it, but I've been kind of looking. Oh yeah, I mean Mux Opal. Yeah, Everflowing Chalice is probably one of the better, the best next 0 drop you can play. I agree with that. Then you can play Astral Cornucopia too. I guess those would be Astral Cornucopia and Everflowing Chalice are the best ones. Yeah, I don't think you want to add Mox Emery there. I've tried Emery and Outcome in the past, and I didn't think it was really something you wanted to do. There was another deck tech. Just wanted to also, before we close the door on that one, talk about I just show off like I had built Outcome in the past. I thought this was like, I think this version is probably like a little better, but it's still kind of dopey. I did like Moonsnare Prototype as like a solid ramp spell that like taps 2 your 0 drops. But I was in on Springleaf Drum, Midnight Ornithopter, which you could also do in your shell. And that Song of Creation played very, very well with the Outcome 0 drop plan. So you had like, these were both your crazy 4-mana card advantage spells, and you draw a ton of cards, and Urza or Maria into Upheaval. I do think Urza is better than Maria if you want to play one of those effects, by the way, but in this version you can play both. Okay, this hand's awesome. This hand would be, if this hand had a turn 1 Arbor Elf or Utopia Sprawl, we could turn 2 Aeve, but we'll definitely keep. This may be a turn 3 or turn 4 Aeve for a bunch, which is kind of slow, but we're going to keep. Okay, Sultai Food King. Okay, I love this Kiora draw. Love, love, love to draw Kiora here. Likely to be a big turn 4, but a huge turn 4. So you're basically playing Imri over Scrapwork Mutt, and then Unearth over Wrenn and 6. I will say this third color is like not at all free to splash. And I think that the Unearths are also like not as desirable if you're not playing the Time Sieve Manufactor plan, specifically Manufactor. Okay, so I think this turn we just Overgrowth. And then we get to go so crazy next turn. Hopefully. Hopefully he just got Fable. Yeah, I mean, I played Sultai on Friday. I do think it could be a more Feasting Troll King focused version. Imri specifically is pretty good overlap. I also like really don't like to play Unearth in decks that have no 3-mana creatures. Usually, there's maybe some exceptions. Maybe this is an exception. But this deck, I may just be even interested in like Ledger Shredder over over the Unearths. And then you get to be just like blue-green, which is actually pretty interesting. But maybe with like light splash or black cyber cards. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted, this Fable. I need to think of the best way to sequence this. Hold on, let me focus here. So Kiora, untap, 3 mana. I guess I can start off with Oath of Nissa, not too hard. We could find another Pact or a Burning Tree. Garruk is pretty good though. Garruk is really good actually. So I can go Emissary. This turn is going to be actually just bananas. Emissary, Emissary. Nykthos, Garruk. Untap, untap. This is maybe going to be the best turn we've had all day. Okay, play Kiora before I activate the Nykthos again for one more Devotion. Devotion, untap. Then I can Karn for Chain Veil. Activate Chain Veil. But I guess I could just infinite combo here. Hold on, let me so I still have a Kiora untapped, so I'm just gonna Aeve for 1,000,000 cards and 1,000,000 Devotion to make things easy. Easy. Oh yeah, I can actually just kill them with Ballista without like having to click through everything. Turn 4. Kind of a crazy turn 4. We had so much more mana too. We had so much more mana. Aeve passively providing, or actively providing, I guess, 8 times 324 devotion. We're going to game 3 though. Yeah, so I think this is kind of interesting. Imri and Ledger Shredder over Scrapwork Mutt and Rin and 6. I think is actually very interesting, and I'm going to download this and put this on like my playtest for tonight. Q, maybe you still splash black for sideboard cards and hardcast Daredevil. Maybe you don't. I will say that I still want to play Gingerbread Cabin and in this more green focused version for sure. But that's currently where I'd be at with this. How about Finale instead of Unearth? Yeah, you could do that too. Oh yeah, Finale. Wait, what is the deck playing over Finale? Because it's Ledger Shredder for Mutt, Imri for Rin and 6. What did the deck have over the finales? Oh, just a million more Saga targets. Probably just play less Saga targets. I guess they good with the Imri, but Imri's still probably fine anyways. Oh, the baubles. Sorry, it's the baubles have to come in, right? No Shredder. Oh yes, that's right. They're playing out. So like, I want to play Shredder over Unearth though. I want to play Shredder over Unearth. 20 lands is scary. Absolve your fears. It's fine. You curve out like a 2. I'll work on it. I do think that this version's really interesting. I'm about it for sure. Awesome Dago. Yeah, I like the Prowess deck a lot. Yeah, I did consider playing a Primal Command. I decided against it though. Ooh, love to draw a land here. I think there's a good chance we can turn 3 Karn Stonebrain if they don't have like Spell Pierce here. Dang. I guess maybe it's better for them to Spell Pierce this than all my bigger spells. Need red black for the Asmo Splash. Oh, of course. I've done this before. Just think Asmo just fits in all the shells. Right, you need a color, red or black. I'll still think about it some more, but you may be able to like be Sultai. Sultai with Imri. Imri is pretty good in the deck. Does he take a Garruk? Lost the hat with that realization, huh? Not the worst hat hair I've ever had. Linen, 26 months, thank you. Really need this Overgrowth to resolve. But if they, just have double Spell Pierce into turn 4 Archon, good beats. Yeah, you could be Teamer. You could be Teamer. Imri is a card I've kind of thought about splashing for in the past, and maybe you don't play Shredder. Maybe you don't play Shredder. There's other blue cards you can play too. It's honestly very, very difficult. I spend a lot of time with like Iconoclast in Breach and trying to overlap the food package. Iconoclast Steelseeker Value, Iconoclast Steelseeker Breach, and all of these decks are like they all feel like somewhat reasonable. Like none of these decks I'm describing feel like actively bad, but they're all like very, very difficult to build. Okay. So you discard one of our 2 Garruks. Burning-Tree would be awesome here. I guess I... So I can go Garruk, untap Nykthos, Overgrowth, play Arbor Elf for basically free, activate Nykthos, Kiora, activate Nykthos, right? So 5 mana, Garruk, untap here, 3. So okay, so this is Garruk. This is Arbor Elf. My devotion is 5. And so this is going to tap for 3, and this is +3, so 6. And then Kiora is going to come down. My devotion will be 6, so +2 up to 8. Can Karn for like bridge? It probably doesn't get better than that. Playing Elf before activating Nykthos this turn doesn't do anything because I only have 3. Okay, so again, Kiora, -3, untap, 6 Devotion, 7 mana for Karn for Bridge. Arbor Elf first roll. Yeah. Elf before casting Garruk doesn't do anything. Because I need the Garruk for the 2 extra Devotion. Okay. Not the worst. Not the worst. Hopefully they don't have an answer to the bridge this turn. Pretty good draw. The Spell Pierce really set me back. Turn 4 creativity. Not out of it yet, but definitely have to top deck well. They also have to attack Karn, which is kind of nice. Now you just get to sack the Karn. Presumably, I guess they could have something else here, right? Yeah, so they attack the Karn, we just sack the Karn. And we need top deck like Summoner's Pact or Karn. I don't think anything else really does it here. Probably not Burning-Tree Emissary. We'll play it out. I think we're probably gonna lose this one though. Pretty good turn. Not the most embarrassing game. I think we're running back for at least one more league. I'm thinking about maybe making a couple changes. I think a expedition map for Nykthos is fine. I might cut the Sky Sovereign for that, and then like 4 green fetch lands also probably seem correct. Okay, hold on, they are attacking me, right? Oh, they're attacking. It says, the chat log says, Alan, my opponent, is being... Oh, sorry, never mind. I'm being attacked. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, let's sack the Burning Tree. No, I guess we sack the Beast token for more devotion. And then, okay, my outs include Summoner's Pact, so I can go like Pact for Witness, Pact for Witness, Pact for Aeve, trigger Kiora a lot, or Karn for something. Aeve doesn't do it. I guess I could draw Cavalier potentially, but okay. It's actually really hype. So let's go Pact for Witness first. Get more devotion. Pact Witness, Witness Karn. This is better, I think. I get to Storm for maybe getting Karn is better. I get to Storm for I get to Aeve for like 6 though and draw a lot of cards is kind of my thinking. Yeah, no, Karn's got to be better. Okay. Dang it. I guess. I guess if they have a removal spell for Karn, they can get me. I can't Ballista them, can I? I don't think so. Yeah, I was just worried about a removal spell on Karn. I don't think I need to really be worried about it anymore. So I have 2 Kiora activations up at the moment, right? So I should minus this before they can respond. Yeah, untap the Chain Veil with Kiora. Well, I was ready to count myself out here. Again, this is not infinite, but it is it's got to be enough for Ballista, right? Grab Bridge. I don't need to grab Bridge here. I'm gonna kill them. Garruk is infinite. Garruk doesn't untap the Chain Veil. I think people keep calling this infinite, and I feel like somewhat confident it's not, right? It's probably enough though, because I could it's probably enough because like this just is triggered so many times that I can, no, you're right. I understand. Because we just get to pick up a Garruk and then activate it like 1,000 times with Cauldron. That's right. The combo is so dumb. Wow, I cannot believe we won that game. What's the backup deck, Spike? What's the backup deck? Okay, I do actually have the backup deck rented, and I have to... Hold on. We'll I think I can do it in a way I don't have to return the backup deck right now. But I do make a couple changes. 1-0-1 into 4-1 feels really good. Shout out to the believers. When Shallow, thank you for the 27 months. Yeah, so I think I want to cut this. Oh, whoops! I want to cut the Sky Sovereign for Expedition map. I think Expedition map is better than Golos because it makes the Nykthos. It lets the Nykthos enter untapped. And then hold on. I'm trying not to